live from Noel Suarez Stadium in Chalmette. It's the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League, as tonight the Mandeville-based Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers take on the Chalmette-based Gulf Coast Bank Owls. And a pleasant good evening to you, Ken Trahan, along with my good and great friend, Coach Kenny Forsang, on a warm, sunny evening in St. Bernard Parish as we get ready for another Crescent City Sports Summer League contest between two good ball clubs. The Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers of Mandeville, under the direction of brand new head coach Brady Benoit. Outstanding coach, many stops, just took over. At Mandeville, he's excited about the job and about the team that he has. The Skippers are 2-2 in Summer League play. They have a very notable win over Case for Kids of Brother Martin, the only loss that team has had this year. And, of course, Gulf Coast Bank Owls, under the direction of veteran coach Mike Thomas, come in at 4-3. They lost a tough 4-3 game last night to Brother Martin-based Case for Kids. So this is an even-looking matchup. Kenny, two good coaches. You know them both. And these are two good programs.
Well, two good coaches that have their teams, prepared. As a coach, you want your team to always walk on the field. You're not always going to be the most talented, but you don't want to be out-prepared by the other team.
And you coached against these guys. You know what they're all about, and you've coached against these schools, Chalmette in particular.
Absolutely. They always come ready to play. Mike does a great job on basics with the guys, and Brady, he is just, any place he's gone, he has done well. And I'm looking forward to seeing these two fine young teams playing under these two great coaches, in my opinion.
Well, you look at the Mandeville squad coming in, and they have had a solid summer in the 4 games played. Peyton Chasson is hitting .545. He's got 3 RBIs. He's been really good, and it's the Peyton show because Peyton Lorette is hitting .429 on the young season for the Mandeville-based squad. So those two have been real stars for the Mandeville-based Gulf Coast Bank and Trust team. Meanwhile, for the Chalmette-based Gulf Coast Bank team, Talon Spinalera is hitting .500. He's driven in 5 runs, and he's been really good thus far this year. Very impressive, to say the least. Cole Armstrong hitting .400. He's driven in 4 runs. Of course, Kenny, you're a pitcher, and the Summer League is all about developing pitching. So seldom do we see guys pitch more than 3 or 4 innings, and that figures to be the case again here this evening.
Right, and that's what the whole idea, of the Summer League is in today's baseball world. There was a time in the past when, Legion was very, very competitive, and the team that wins down here plays the North Louisiana. Well, the last 4 or 5 years, all these coaches have decided to go with young teams and to get ready for the prep season next year. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Of course, I don't think there's anything wrong either with playing the way it used to be, but Legion is not what it used to be, with all these showcases and guys being invited to go play, and you lose your top players, your seniors and your juniors sometime to go play. So, yes, use the Summer League to develop your team for next year.
That's exactly what this was created for, and we're proud to be part of it because of that. And we also have made it a point to make sure that we work with everyone else. We play these games Monday through Thursday, so they're free to play travel ball on weekends. I'll go to showcases. And for that matter, we conclude the first week of July. So if they wanted to play Legion, they can do that in the playoffs as well, which is something that the Jesuit-based Latif Oil team does. Well, the Owls have taken to the field, and the one thing we can say for sure about tonight, Kenny, is that Gulf Coast Bank will win tonight. I am certain of that. And they're a winner across the board, regardless. And thanks to Gulf Coast Bank and Trust for sponsoring both of these teams. It makes a big difference with the schools and their programs, and couldn't do it without people like Gulf Coast Bank. So very appreciative of what they have done. The starting lineups, first of all, for the visiting Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers of Mandeville, under the direction of Brady Benoit. It's Anderson Schaff at shortstop. Mason Hickman is at second base. Kyle Charrier, the center fielder. Cleanup hitter is the pitcher, Michael Scott. Peyton Chasson is in right field. Will Tomplin is the catcher. Peyton Lorette is in left field. It is Luke Lejeune playing first base, and Brody Hatchett at third. Schaff, Hickman, and Charrier. Scott, Chasson, Tomplin, and Lorette, Lejeune, and Hatchett for the skippers. For the Gulf Coast Bank Owls, 4-3, under the direction of Mike Thomas, leading off and pitching, Latrell Grant. The shortstop is Joe Monahan. The first baseman, Cam Tipton. Cleanup hitter and extra hitter is Evan Jacob. Cole Armstrong bats fifth. At third base, it's Landon Hebert in left field. Talon Westbury plays right field. Trey Riggio is at second base. Marcus Campbell, the center fielder. Seth Vosbein is the catcher. Grant, Monaghan, Tipton, Jacob, Armstrong, Hebert, Westbury, Riggio, Campbell, and Vosbein. On the mound taking his warm-up tosses is Latrell Grant, the right-hander for the Owls. As he prepares to go here, Grant is pitched in 2 games thus far this summer, and he has a 1-0 record. And a perfect earned run average, 5 2/3 innings, and only 1 hit, no runs. Now he has walked 6, but no strikeouts. So just the 1 hit in 5 2/3 and shutout baseball. So thus far, impressive. And saw him warm up, and he's ready to go here, Kenny.
Yeah, he's going to look like he's going to be low 80s, and we'll throw a change up and look like a little bit of a breaking pitch. But the whole key is just throwing your strikes.
Ready to roll here, leading it off is Anderson Schaff, the shortstop, to get things started for the Skippers. And the first pitch of the ball game is on the way. Fastball high. We're underway at 6:59, or a minute early. So a ball and no strikes to Schaff, the shortstop, getting things rolling here. 1-0 pitch. Down 2-0. They have higher numbers for the Mandeville Bay squad. The new jerseys are coming in soon with regular numbers, but as Brady Benoit said, this is like training camp numbers, right? A lot of high digits. 2-0 the count. Here it is. And that's right down central. It's 2-1. Good pitch.
You got to earn your spot on the team, he said, to get your number.
No doubt. I like it. 2-1 the count on Schaff. And another. Towards short, right to the shortstop. Monaghan, and that's how this game starts. On a soft liner to short. Schaff retired. And that will bring Mason Hickman to the plate. Hickman, the second baseman. And Mason Hickman, 1 for 9 with an RBI thus far in the summer. Left-handed swinger, open stance, hits out of a crouch in the dirt. All turf field here at Noel Suarez Stadium. Lights are on to start the ball game on a sunny and very warm evening here in St. Bernard Parish.
That is an understatement.
One-0. Pass the pitcher to short. Monaghan has another chance. And safe at first. So that'll be an infield hit for Hickman. Throw pulled him a little bit off the bat, but I think the first baseman was trying to stretch to seal it, but I think he beat the wrap regardless, Kenny.
Right, he was safe. That's a tough play. You know, once it got by the pitcher, it was not hit hard enough for the shortstop to be able to get to the ball and make a throw.
So first hit of the game, an infield hit for Hickman. With 1 out, here's Kyle Sherrier, another left-handed hitter. Grant with a move to first to chase Hickman back. Hickman has not stolen a base thus far in the summer. Down and in, gets away. Catcher will throw to second, and he won't get it there. So that has to go as a wild pitch in the dirt. And a good read by Hickman. There is no foul territory beyond home plate here, so you got to make that down read immediately if you want to take the base here at Suarez, and Hickman did just that.
Well, I mean, we're so close here. I think we're in the batter's box. Very close here in Chalmette.
1-0. Over but high. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. Kyle Sherrier. Very low stretch position for Grant. 2-0. High 3. And I want to ask you about that. Watch him on this next pitch, Kenny. That's his lowest stretch position as I've seen. And what he has to do as a result is he has to raise his arms and his hands. I wonder how much of an impact that has. Well, again, you'll see it right here. So we want everybody to watch exactly what we're talking about. Watch how low. It's down below the belt. Watch him has to raise the hand. See? And that's a ball. So how difficult does that make it? It's more movement to be able to get to where you want to get, right?
I think so. I mean, I would try and change him on that because, you know, all that really affects is timing.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's throwing the ball very hard. It's just he's all over the place. He's, high and outside, low and inside. He's just got to get his timing down a little bit better. And maybe you see where his glove is right now. Just keep it there. You don't have to go all the way down.
Michael Scott, the pitcher, at the plate with 2 on, 1 out. And up in the zone to Scott, the fine two-way player.
Here comes Coach Mike.
For a visit, Scott is 1 for 7 in Summer League action thus far. By the way, at game time,
and what Mike's just talking about.
Exactly what we're talking about, yeah. Just exactly what we were saying about the low stretch position.
See, he's got the TV in the dugout.
He's watching us. There's no question. No, I'm just kidding. He's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. So, by the way, temperature at game time 88. It felt warmer than that.
That gauge is lying.
You think?
Yes.
Wind out of the south at 4. No factor at all here today. Humidity? Let's just say it's high. 1-0 pitch. That's a strike. Now, did you see his stretch position there?
Yes, he did.
Changed it completely.
Right.
The hands were above the waist there in the stretch. So that's coaching. Coach Thomas made the adjustment.
Absolutely.
Scott throws the strike. It's less movement. So anything that's less movement is going to get you to where you want to get in better fashion as a pitcher or as a hitter. Look where the stretch position is now.
Much better.
Completely different. Runners go. Swing at a tap foul, played a little hit and run. So it's 1-2. Runner had a good jump from second.
Well, I mean,
it was a hit and run.
The pitcher didn't even look back at him. I mean, sometimes pitchers get so caught up. You got to be able to do it all. You got to be able to hold the runner on. You got to be able to throw a pick off, and you got to concentrate on the hitter. You got to keep the base runners honest.
1 ball, 2 strikes from the stretch. Pickoff move thrown in the center field. Runners are going to advance to second and third, and safely. Now, the center fielder is a good one, and he has a good arm. Made it close, but wouldn't have been a better play to second there?
I thought so, too, but I didn't see anybody getting to second base.
Right. Yeah, that was the issue.
Right, that was the issue.
That's a throwing error. First error of the game goes against the Owls. And now 2 runners in scoring position. And a 1-2 count on Scott, who has a chance to help himself as the opposing pitcher, hitting in the cleanup spot. 1-2. Breaking ball. And out of play. Holding at 1-2. Showed him the hook in that situation.
Good spot. It was down in the not down in the dirt, but down in the zone. Made him chase a good 1-2 pitch. I'd throw another one off the plate here, try and get him to chase. That's a big kid hitting.
Runners lead once more. In the air to right. This will be interesting. The right fielder there. Westbury the catch. Runner tags. Throw toward the plate is not in time. Good base running. Gets the back end runner to third. And the Skippers take a 1-0 lead on a sacrifice fly by Michael Scott. And a good job by Charrier to take the extra base on the back end, Kenny.
Absolutely. I know the guys really want to throw somebody out on that, but come up, hit your cutoff man, and you might be able to throw the guy out going to third base.
So runner at third, 2 outs, and here's Peyton Chasson. He's been really good in the summer. Left-handed hitter, the pitch, and threw it by him. Good pitch by Scott.
Let me take it one step further. Might have even been a better play for him to come up and go to third base because you had your leadoff hitter on third base. He's probably going to run pretty well.
In the air, left center, long run, everybody. Can anyone get there? The answer is no. Drops for a base hit. Ball gets by. Runner will get to second on an RBI double. That's Chasson, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Skippers. No man's land there, just put in a perfect spot. Nothing you can do defensively other than to knock that ball down.
Right. It was a good pitch. It was a little bit off the plate away. He went with it off the end of the bat. If he hits it a little bit harder, it's caught. If he hits it a little bit easier, it's caught.
So runner at second, 2 outs, 2 runs home, and here's Will Topland, a catcher. .200 with no homers, no RBI. Nice pick by the catcher. He throws and there's nobody home. Fortunately, the center fielder alert to back it up, Campbell.
I don't mind catchers throwing, but there was just nobody at the base on that. And it went right over the base.
Pitch. Straight up. Right side. Right fielder coming on is there. Putting it away, Westbury, inning over. But a good inning for the Skippers. They score twice, and they do it on a couple of hits with an error. And Strand won. Bottom of the first coming, and a 2-0 lead for the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers, with the Gulf Coast Bank Owls coming to the plate. Good start for the Mandeville base squad, Kenny.
Yeah, and put the ball in play. You know, had a pop-up that was a C&I pop-up that fell in between three guys. They put the ball in play. That's what you got to do. Pretty impressed with Shamit's pitcher. He's throwing with great velocity. He just got to get more consistent with his strikes. And the correction he did on his stretch was very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good job by Coach Thomas to come out. He spotted it, as we did, and made the adjustment, and it definitely improved things for him from an accuracy perspective.
Well, many, many years ago when I first started coaching, I had a coach tell me it's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Mm-hmm. Don't do any unnecessary motions, because all balance is a reaction. If you kick up and you kick your leg out, it's going to force your body to go the other direction. So you don't want to do that. You want to stay with as simple a motion as you can. That's why a lot of pitchers have gone to the stretch now, where a lot of guys don't throw from the windup anymore. Now, that drives me crazy. I think as a pitcher, you got to be able to learn to throw from the windup. But that's my opinion.
Interesting how people have different thought processes there. Most coaches feel pitchers should do what they feel most comfortable with a runner at third. Are they more comfortable out of the stretch? You'd prefer out of the stretch, but if you're much more comfortable and it's decisive out of the windup, then a lot of coaches say go that route. And that's kind of what we see.
I tell my kids the same thing. You got a guy on third, whatever you want to do here. You can stretch, you can wind up. I'll have to make a call if it's a squeeze situation or something like that, where I might want to keep the run a little closer, but for the most part, it's whatever they're comfortable with.
Ready to go with Latrell Grant leading it off against Michael Scott. First pitch on the way. Fastball over but high from Scott. It was a good arm. Latrell Grant getting things going here, trying to help himself in this situation after he finds himself behind by 2. 313 hitter. Driven in 2 on the young season. And he taps it foul. And the count is even at a ball and a strike against Michael Scott. Scott, second appearance, 0-0. No earned run average, 2 innings, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, no hits allowed.
Well, his
only previous outing.
His ball runs a lot in on a right-hand hitter.
Runs away here, and it's 2-1.
Well, it's funny. Sometimes when guys throw a fastball to the middle of the plate and it runs inside, if you throw it to the outside part of the plate, it stays straight.
Tapper foul, 2-2.
And that's part of what you want to learn how to do as a pitcher, is to be able to get that pitch that you're throwing outside, to, to tail back, kind of like Greg Maddux.
Right.
When you can get that ball to tail back, which starts off a ball.
Tough to do anything with that, huh?
No, not a doggone thing.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch down to the zone, picked out of the dirt. Top line has to throw to first accurately to get his man. Scored K2-3, 1 out. And that will bring Joe Monahan to the plate, the shortstop.
Nice job by that catcher just now, going down and blocking the ball. Mm-hmm. Has plenty of time to come up and throw. He gets away from the baseline, so the base runner won't be a problem, and he makes a good throw to first base.
Monahan, 300, no homers, 2 driven in. Right-handed swinging shortstop. Pitches on the way. That's over but high. We can tell you that the league leader in the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League is Cypress Physical Therapy, based at Lutcher, and they won again today. The Bulldogs are 6-0. High, and it's 2-0. They defeated the John Curtis Christian-based River Ridge Patriots 7-3. So the Lutcher team continues to shine, now 6-0 on top of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League. This pitch is away, and it's 3-0. So that's an impressive bunch that Ryan Jensen has, and we'll see them next week on our Game of the Week. We expect to have a really good one as St. Charles Catholic-based Cretan Townsend Holmes plays at Lutcher. This is fouled out of play, so Monaghan had the swing on 3-0. Fouls it, and it's 3-1.
That'll be a great game next week between those two programs.
Looking forward to that one, buddy. River Parish rivals aside from being two really good programs. Towards short. Schaff has it. Sets and throws. Got his man. 6-3 put out, 2 outs.
We were talking earlier with Brady in particularly about the good teams in the league this year, and then you mentioned about those teams out in Lake Charles and Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys seem like they're already sophomores in college. Yep. They just play such good baseball over there. 2
gone for Cameron Tipton, the first baseman. Good-looking player. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball. Breaks in there for a strike. Sharp movement to get ahead of Tipton.
That's a pretty pitch right there. That looked like a fastball, and it just broke at the end.
Tipton 0 for 5 in the Summer League play thus far. This breaking ball stays high. A ball and a strike. As we play with nobody on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. And he checked, and it's a strike, and it's 1-2.
Ooh, he didn't like that one.
Bounced that one. Even up at 2-2.
Yeah, sometime it looked like he tries to overthrow that breaking pitch every once in a while, and it goes about 56 feet.
And right down the middle. Fastball powdered him. Very impressive inning for Scott. Sets him down in order with 2 strikeouts included. We've played 2-0 Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers over the Gulf Coast Bank Owls here from Noel Suarez Stadium. Scott looked good that inning.
Oh, I thought he was going to be low to mid-80s. He was mid-80s to upper 80s. He can throw the ball. And has that good, sharp breaking slider or curveball, whatever he wants to call it.
Another impressive team in this summer league is Archbishop Rummel-based Malcolm Dinas. Today they run-ruled the Lakeshore Titans 15-4 in the game shortened to 6 innings at Raider Park, and they banged out 19 hits. And that team is playing without Mikey Ryan and Giancarlo Arancibia, who are their 2 best players, one an LSU commit, one a Tulane commit, and Ruben Ramirez homered in, and he had 2 home runs in that game today. So that's a good-looking team. They're now 6-1. On the season, as we mentioned, Cypress Physical Therapy 6-0, and they beat Malcolm Dinas 1-0. That's the only loss for the Rummel-based team in a game that was played at Lutcher. And of course, we have full reports every single night at CrescentCitySports.com on every game that's played in this summer league. And every Sunday, we post the updated standings in the league as well. We're in week 3 of a 5-week league right now. And the inordinate, disparate number of games that teams have played is all about rainouts. That's why the Chalmette-based Gulf Coast Bank team has played 7 games. The Mandeville-based Gulf Coast Bank and Trust team has only played 4. They've been impacted by weather, as the Mandeville squad. They're really happy to see the weather like this today to be able to play, and they're really happy about the game thus far with a 2-0 lead.
Right. They jumped up and played very well in that first inning.
Here's Peyton Lorette, who's had a really good summer, 429 on the summer. Takes one down the middle from Grant. It's 0-1.
There's no question the teams that have the turf fields have a big advantage being able to play. You have the 3 o'clock game scheduled and it rains, you play at 7.
Breaking ball swung on and missed. So it's now no balls and 2 strikes on Lorette, to be followed by Lejeune and Hatchett. Slight cloud cover, love that. 0-2 pitch. Bounced it, it's 1-2.
You got to be a little closer than that 0-2.
Working from the first base side of the rubber, Grant with a 1-2 pitch. Missing away. Count equal 2-2.
A lot of physics involved there with the quickest pitch to the plate.
2-2. And it's a rope into left field. Just got on top of that high one. He's going to try for 2. Here's the throw. It's there in time, and he is safe. He slid to the inside of the bag, The tag was toward the outside. Beautiful job of hitting by Peyton Lorette. Maybe an even better job of base running.
Well, the second baseman went to tag him and didn't have the ball. It went to the ground. He thought he had it.
Well, he slid to the inside anyway.
Oh, it was a great slide. That's right.
Probably avoided the tag regardless. And here's Luke Lejeune. So leadoff double by Peyton Lorette, continues his fine summer. And here's Lejeune.
And that was a tough pitch he hit. That was up in his eyes that he went up and got.
Got on top of it. Lejeune's hitting .308. Has an RBI. Pitch on the way. It's way up in the zone.
Now, he has been high with his fastball, and he's been in the dirt with his breaking pitch. He's just got to work on his release point to get a better feeling of the zone.
1-0 to Lejeune. Bounced it. 2 balls and no strikes.
Anytime you play baseball, it's a great day.
You sound like me. These Kennys, they stick together. You know what I mean? Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Challenged him. Got it by Lejeune. It's 2-1.
These 2 past weekends, with the regionals last weekend and the super regionals, I think my body's been implanted on the sofa.
Permanent hole in that seat, right?
Absolutely. And
2 balls and a strike on Lejeune. Lorette a lead. Right side, long run, no play. Over the dugout of the Skippers, it is even at 2-2. Old Suarez Stadium, part of the outstanding complex here at Chalmette High School. Excellent softball facility. Excellent football facility. Bobby Nuff Stadium, of course, the campus is beautiful and special place. Here it comes. Breaking ball to right. Right fielder gets a good read on it. Making the catch, Westbury. No tag. And out number 1. Westbury read that ball immediately off the bat, and that's the key. Here's Brody Hatchett.
Well, you know, Chalmette, to me, is iconic, pretty similar to the way the Catholic schools are. You know, our Chalmette's just been around forever. And, of course, you know, the wars that they had with Holy Cross for many, many years, goodness gracious.
Here's Hatchett. Of course, they played in the quote-unquote Catholic League for many years, including when you and I were in school.
Yep.
Throw to second, runner back. We had some epic battles in football, basketball, baseball, really across the board when you and I were at Archbishop Rummel and coming here to Chalmette all the time.
Always competed. They always came out and competed.
Away with this pitch, 1-0.
And some of the pitchers they had, the George McGoverns, the Thienemans, Billy Fote.
Billy Fote was pretty good.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Elphage Calumet.
Elphage was a special athlete.
Yeah.
A lot of good athletes. One of my closest friends, Vince Manala, he wasn't too shabby here.
No.
And a pivot towards second, and that's going to be the runner just holding his ground.
Well, again, the shortstop had left, so he had an idea.
Pitch to Hatchett, going to bunt, and he puts it down beautifully toward third. That's a great bunt by Hatchett.
Yes, indeed.
Can't do it any better than that. Now, that young man played shortstop in a JV game that we just watched, and he was pretty special. He was pretty special at shortstop in that JV game. We talked about how impressed we were with him. Well, that's him in this game playing third, and what a beautiful bunt that was.
Outstanding.
If you execute, can't be stopped. The opposing team can know exactly what you're doing, but if you execute, it doesn't matter. You don't even need the element of surprise. Here's Anderson Schaaf. He lined to short his first time. Chance for the Skippers to really expand this lead here. First and third, nobody out, with 1 out rather, here in the second inning. That's down the middle for a strike.
What I tried to do with my players, any of my players that could run a little bit, right-handed or left-handed, we worked on drag bunting for a base hit. And I think you do your kid a disservice if he's got a little speed and you don't show him how to drag bunt.
No balls and a strike, and the Scott with a 53 move.
Now, I get so confused on that nowadays. There's so many leagues that you can't do that in, and there's leagues you can do that in.
You can do it here.
Whew.
From the stretch into the plate outside. So it's even at a ball and a strike. We're in the top of the second inning here with Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers on top of the Gulf Coast Owls, 2-0. Runner breaks from first. They're going to throw there to the shortstop. Running back toward first. Fake the throw. Now throw it there. Now the first baseman throws home.
Nice
well
play.
done. Well done by the Owls. That is the way you do it. Economical with the throws. Ran the runners back where you need to run them back and get the job done. That is a 1-6-3-2 put out at home.
Well, you have a couple of options there. If this guy is trying to force balk, your second baseman comes into the baseline, you get him. If he's just trying to steal, you get it to your shortstop like they just did.
Correct.
And they ran it perfectly. I didn't like the fake throws because sometimes you fake your own teammate out.
Hatchett fouls it. And the count now is 1-2. Back end runner did get to second, so they still have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and a 1-2 count.
And, the Mandeville guys ran that perfectly, too. You're taught when that ball goes to the first baseman, go. It works better if he's a left-handed first baseman because he's going to take a little bit more time to make a throw to the plate.
1-2. Breaker away. Even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, I have not seen him throw his breaking pitch at the hitter and break it over the plate for a strike. Everything's been off the plate with his breaking pitch.
Choo-choo. Reached out and poked it foul. Good piece of hitting to protect.
Good at bat. Way to fight that off. Pitchers are taught with the curveball. It breaks across like that. If you want it away from the hitter, from the right-handed hitter, you start it for their elbow. If you want to break it in on the corner inside, you start it for their hip. And that's a good target to start it at.
Steps out.
I've asked pitchers before, okay, where'd you start your target at?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? What were you throwing at? I don't know.
The pitch. Down and out. Gets by. Runner for third. And he will make it. So runner to third on the second wild pitch. Delivered by Grant. No harm, no foul, though. Still 2 outs. Just need to get the hitter 3 balls, 2 strikes. See if it'll work from the windup. He will. To the point we made earlier. That's how he's comfortable. On 3-2. Payoff pitch is on the way. Up and in. Another base runner.
Yep.
Walk number 2 issued by Grant. Now let's see if Mandeville wants to run, and they tried to pickle play previously.
Right.
See if they do it again. Here's Hickman. He singled and scored in the first inning. Mandeville with a lot of base runners early in this game.
And 1 thrown out at the plate, so that would have been a 3rd run. Then he could be sitting here with, 1 out and score 3-0.
Bounced it. Nice pick by Vosbien, 1-0.
You can't keep getting behind the hitters like this.
And Vosbien's getting a workout behind the plate.
Yes.
He's had a lot of pitches that have bounced. He's had others that have been wild pitches. Grant trying to battle through this, keep this game in touch at 2-0 here in the second. With a 1-0. And it's 1-1.
He's making some good pitches, and the Mandeville hitters are fouling him off. A couple of good at-bats.
Ball and a strike. Away, 2-1. Sun out of the northwest here. A factor at this juncture. Still a while before it recedes from view.
Well, a throw from third to first could be a problem, or short to first.
And the second 53 move. Look toward third, wheel toward first without an offer. Two one. And now 3-1. Pitch is mounting in the second inning for Grant.
Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit. Put it in play right here is what he should be saying to himself.
And he walked him. So the bases are loaded for Kyle Sherrier, who walked and scored his first time. And that will be all for Grant. So he goes an inning and 2/3 and will depart, having allowed 4 hits, 3 walks to this point, 2 runs with 2 wild pitches. And he will depart.
Well,
did not have any strikeouts.
I don't know right now if he's departing.
Well, it sure looked like he was.
Well, yeah, he made some changes defensively.
Pointed.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a change. So, or is it?
No.
No, they're going to leave him in. Okay.
That was confusing.
He came out and pointed right away. You saw that.
Yeah, well, he was telling first baseman, he switched first baseman, but I still thought he was pulling him because he had like 4 people running onto the field.
Still in. And now Grant, with the bases loaded, will try to find his way out of this. Kyle Sherrier has different ideas. As mentioned, he walked and scored his first trip. With the bases loaded, 2 outs. With the pitch. That's way outside and high.
Yeah, not even close right there. Maybe he's trying to overthrow. I don't know. But you can't throw a ball 7 feet high and 4 feet off the plate.
The 1-0. And now 2 balls and no strikes.
I mean, he has great movement on his pitch. It's just running all over the place. You got to learn to control that. Maybe go to if he's throwing a 2-seam fastball, go to a 4-seam fastball. And that straightens it out a little bit.
And now 3-0. So Sherrier will take a pitch here with the bases loaded, no room on the base paths. Big left-handed hitter just will stand stationary in all likelihood. Has to throw a strike. Cannot, not even close, and it's 3-0 on the 3rd consecutive walk issued. As Hatchett scores, Schaff to 3rd, Hickman to 2nd, and now Scott will bat. Michael Scott had a sacrifice fly his first time to produce a run.
All right, now he's coming.
So Mike Thomas, the slow move toward the mound, gets there, and we'll get the change. Hard when you in the dugout and you have a pitcher just can't find the zone. Grant gets a nice hand. The effort was there. It's good experience for him, and hopefully a learning experience. You're only going to get better by experience. So he departs, and we'll get a new hurler for the Owls. Coming in, that's Landon Hebert. Number 13, Hebert takes over. The right-hander, Hebert. And we look at the numbers on Landon Hebert on the year. He's made 2 appearances, 1 start. He's 1-0 with a 1.24 earned run average. 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs, and 1 earned. The walk total is high with 8. He has struck out 5.
Well, I mean, that's the difference between young pitchers pitching a lot with varsity and young pitchers not pitching a lot for varsity. It's the amount of strikes you throw.
Yep.
I tell my kids all the time, if you can't throw strikes, you cannot pitch. I don't care what your velocity is. I don't care if you throw 7 different pitches. If you can't throw it over the plate, you can't pitch.
Nope.
Now, that's not to say that a kid won't struggle once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, I had games when, you know, I couldn't find a plate with the breaking pitch, or I couldn't find a plate with the changeup, and you know, and you got to keep throwing those. That's the only way you get better at them. I hate these coaches that when a guy throws a changeup and he gets hit hard, they'll quit throwing the changeup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's the wrong way of handling it. You know, the next batter should see a changeup at some point.
So ready to go now. With 2 outs. Base is still loaded. Michael Scott at the sacrifice fly his first time. First pitch up and in from Hebert.
Now, coming out of the bullpen, you have to come out and throw strikes. You have to come out and put the ball in play.
No room for error with the bases loaded. One 0 is over but high, and it's 2-0.
You know, you got to come out and put the fire out. That's why for a long time, relief pitchers got the Fireman Award.
Scott waiting for a 2-0 delivery from Landon Hebert. And that was right down the middle. It's 2-1.
Good pitch.
2 balls and a strike. Long look, 2-1. Up and away, so 3-1. Scott looking for one pitch in one area here. 3-1 the count. Toward left into the corner. That's going to plate a couple. 1 run is home. 2 runs will score. Third runner stopping at third. It's a 2-run double for Michael Scott, who's got a 3 RBI day. Now the ball gets away, and there's no throw to home. So that'll be a throwing error. Oh, you can't have that.
No.
So a 3rd run scores, and the floodgates open here.
Miscues and walks kill you.
Scott with a double. All 3 runners end up scoring. 2 on RBIs. 4 runs at home, and it's 6-0. And Scott again with a 3 RBI game to help himself. And those runs, of course, are charged to Grant. Throwing error allowing the last run to score. And here is the pitch, and that's a ball to Chasson, who doubled his first time and drove in a run.
Now, what happened there, too, with the last hitter? You know, he was behind the count, and he had to come in with a good pitch, and a good hitter is going to rip that.
Chasson looking to add another. The runner in scoring position. 1-0. High and away, 2-0.
And as a pitcher, you can't get frustrated. You just got to regroup. Got to say, hey, I got to make him put the ball in play here, because right now he again is behind the count, 2-0. This batter is looking for one pitch in one location, something he can hit hard.
2-0. Threw it by him, 2-1.
That ball had pretty good movement on it. It started at the center of the plate and broke toward the catcher's left knee.
2 balls and a strike. High and away, 3-1. So again, falling behind in the count.
Yeah.
It's been the story. It's hard to pitch successfully that way.
Well, you might be able to beat bad teams doing that, but you're not going to beat good teams.
High and away, another walk. So that is 4 walks in the inning and 5 in the game. And now Will Topline bats. He flew out to right to end the first as to shed the gear. Catcher. Remember, they lost a runner on the bases in this inning as well.
Right.
Would have been bigger than this.
That's exactly right.
in the air, center field. A play on it for Campbell. He's got it. 9 men come to the plate. 4 runs cross the plate in the inning on 3 hits with an error and 2 stranded. They've left 3 in the game. And we head to the bottom of the second, a 6-0 lead for the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers of the Gulf Coast Bank Owls here at Noel Suarez Stadium. And coverage of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in the Metro New Orleans market, must be a reason. Thanks to Ronnie Lamarck, a proud Chalmette Owl graduate, for his support of our games and of CrescentCitySports.com.
I did not know Mr. Lamarck went to Chalmette.
Loved it.
Well, you know, we've talked before about all the people that support Crescent City Sports with Mr. Gibbs, Ronnie Lamarck. You know, all these people are such high school baseball fans. It's great to have support like that.
So 6-0, and Scott has been, well, he's been the man. He's had a sacrifice line, a 2-run double, and he's got a shutout inning under his belt, and he looked really good, retiring the side in order in the first as he goes back to the mound in the second. As a pitcher, it's always nice to take the mound with the lead. It must be really nice to take the mound with a 6-0 lead, Kenny.
Well, I agree. And what you got to battle, you know, if you got a 6-7 run lead, you have to battle complacency in your mind. You know, you got to keep in your mind, you got to go out there pitching like it's nothing. You know, the only thing that you may do differently is I'm throwing a first pitch strike and I'm trying to get ahead and make them hit the ball. Because with a 6-run lead, we just don't want to put anybody on base.
No. Evan Jacob leads it off, the extra hitter in the lineup. Jacob stands in right side. First pitch from Scott. And he hit him. So the first pitch is a wild one. Gets a piece of Jacob. He's on to lead off the bottom of the second. Cole Armstrong will bat. Armstrong, 400 hitter, no homers, 4 driven in.
I used to hate to bat after somebody got hit.
Check swing foul. It's 0-1.
Because you always go up there saying, well, how wild is this guy? Is he going to hit me too? And particularly with this one throwing mid to upper 80s, that's going to hurt.
Throw to first. Runner dives back in. Away. 1-1.
I'm watching him throw. He actually throws across his body a little bit.
Another throw to first to chase him back. You think a little preoccupied with a runner with a 6-0 lead?
I wouldn't even worry about him.
Mm-hmm. But you want to work on things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong. If that's what he's doing, then that's fine.
That's sinking towards center, and that is caught beautifully.
Wow.
By the second baseman. Hickman made a heck of a play and throws to first for the double play.
Wow.
Terrific play by Mason Hickman to go get it and then wheel and deal a strike to Lejeune to double up Jacob for out number 2.
I didn't think Hickman had any shot, first of all, of getting to the fly ball. And he got there and had enough presence to know that base runner was probably a little closer to second than he should have been, and did a great job of wheeling and making a tough throw to first.
Went around, I believe, and, well, I guess they said he didn't. Or did he? Yes, he did. It's 0-1. Yeah, I mean, it sure looked like it.
The guy behind home plate called it.
He called it.
Yeah.
And that just missed away. 1-1.
What a play. Goodness gracious. Ooh.
2-1.
That's that tough pitch that starts at the hitter. It's a knee buckler. And then breaks over the plate.
2-2.
And if you notice, he starts on the left side of the mound, too.
He does. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. His third strikeout. And the inning is over with nothing doing. We've played 2. And the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers lead the Gulf Coast Bank Owls 6-0. Well, this is the Michael Scott Show. He's set them down in 2 innings, and he's also driven in 3 runs and 2 at-bats.
And 4 strikeouts?
He's got 3 thus far.
3 strikeouts, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's doing everything he needs to do.
Been the man.
Yes, indeed. Been throwing very well. I'm impressed with him on the mound.
Back to the mound goes Landon Hebert as we move forward to the 3rd inning here.
Now, I started to talk about the physics or geometry, whatever you want to call it, goes into this.
Yeah.
When you start as a right-hander from the first side of the rubber, from the first base side of the rubber, to get in on a right-handed hitter, you got to cross home plate. If you start from the right side of the rubber, that is the shortest distance inside to a right-handed batter. So that's going to be your best fastball. So, you lose that opportunity when you throw in from the left side of the pitching rubber. Because a right-handed hitter, if you're going to go straight and try and go to the outside corner, a right-handed hitter, he can wait a little bit longer at that and hit that to right field. But anytime you got to go in on that right-handed hitter and you're on the right side of the rubber, that is your fastest pitch to the plate because it's the shortest distance.
Well explained to those watching.
Speaking of that, how do you like some of the new rules with the baseball, as it turns out?
By and large, I like them. By and large.
Yeah.
Yes. Here we go on the 3rd. Toward 3rd. Handled. Armstrong. Throw. Good. For out number 1.
Nice play.
Takes care of Peyton Lorette, who had doubled his first time. And now Luke Lejeune, who flew out to right his first time. Other action in the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League tonight. St. Thomas Aquinas playing at home, leading over Terry's Oysters based at Bell Chase 2-0 in the 3rd inning of that game. Luke Lejeune flew out to right his first time. Up and in, ball 1. Nice line drive base hit left field. Lejeune got on top of that ball and rips it to left for a 1-out single. That's hit number 6 for the Skippers.
That ball was hit hard. It had a little top spin on it.
Very much so. Here's Brody Hatchett, who bunted beautifully for a base hit and scored a run in the 2nd inning.
This young man's a player.
To the plate. Good breaking ball. Buckle the knees. It's 0-1.
Yes, good breaking pitch. I like the speed on that after his fastball.
They're playing the 4th inning at Winterscheid this evening. And De La Salle-based Corcel Law leads Archbishop Shaw-based Refuel 1-0. Throw to first. Runner back.
Had him leaning.
Ready with a 1-1. Breaking ball, strike again. So he's thrown 2 good ones in a row. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, 2 good pitches.
So a ball and 2 strikes. And another. Breaking ball swung on and missed. He stayed with the hook. 3 good ones, and he takes care of Hatchett for out number 2.
Well, there's one philosophy that says that. Throw them the curveball until they show you they can hit it. Or whatever pitch they can hit. If they're having trouble catching up to you, stay with it until they catch up to you.
Anderson Schaff bats. He's lined to short, walked and scored. They play at Tiger Park tonight in the top of the 5th. And Holy Cross-based Ponstein's Food Store leads St. Charles Catholic-based Townsend Homes 5-0. Strike called and a stolen base. So Schaff has a strike call, but Lejeune steals second.
That's a surprise score to me.
Very good looking performance by the Tigers thus far tonight.
Yes.
No balls and a strike here on Anderson Schaff. Another good breaking ball. Just missed the inside edge, but I like the pitch. 1-1.
Great spot. Holy Cross has some good players.
They do. Good young players. Good future. A ball and a strike. Runner away from second. Long look in the pitch. Look out. Ducked away from it. 2-1 to Schaff.
No, I mean, nobody's hitting that pitch.
2 balls and a strike. Another. Tap foul. So it's even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. They play in the bottom of the 4th tonight, and Brother Martin-based K's for Kids all over St. Augustine-based Chapter 4 restaurant, 10-3 in the 4th inning. The Brother Martin-based K's for Kids team, one of the top teams in the league, coming in at 5-1 into this game this evening. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Got on the chase to first with the throw of Osbein on the mark. And the inning is over with no runs and a hit. And a runner stranded. Bottom of the 3rd coming. Still 6-0 in favor of the Mandeville-based Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers. And coverage of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League is brought to you by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 45 years. Transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality, Gibbs Construction. So a 0 put up for the first time by the Owls. That's got to give them some impetus.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job calling out and throwing strikes that inning. The other thing I wouldn't want to do on days like this is umpire behind the plate.
Tough.
I don't know how these men do it. I don't know.
Good way to lose weight.
I know, Coach, but the problem is I would go get my 6 iced teas and my pizza as soon as I left the field.
I'm with you.
I don't miss many meals.
I've been missing a few, but that's okay.
Well, you look great.
It's by design.
You look great. How much have you lost?
Going to keep working it?
Very good. Because whatever you lost, I found. My daughter battles with food allergies, so she's got to be careful with everything she eats. She's even allergic to nickel, which you cook in.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, she got down to about 103 pounds.
Wow.
And I know in high school she was about 120 and a cross-country runner. So she's working on it.
Colin Westbury swings and fouls it right side. That will be out of play. As the sun starts to recede from view here.
Thank goodness.
The lights will start to take more effect.
Well, let's hope we don't have a situation that happened with Texas last night. That was terrible.
No balls and a strike. Hate to see that for anyone. Here it comes. Fastball crowds him. It's 1-1.
And like you said, you know, it seemed like nobody saw the ball. Center fielder, the shortstop. You said maybe the second baseman did.
Just a strike called.
He threw that pitch.
Ball and 2 strikes. I like Scott.
Yeah.
Good size, good arm. Here it comes. High, 2-2. Got under that breaking ball.
Yeah, that flattened out. That didn't have the same downward break to it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And another. Ooh. Just missed with the breaking ball.
The batter thought it was a strike. He was getting ready to walk back to the dugout.
So it's full 3-2. Pretty close pitch right there. Payoff. To the netting to stay alive. Westbury having a meaningful at-bat to start the bottom of the 3rd inning.
like these catches that are just having fun. The ball was rolling down the line, the foul ball, and he slid after it like he was going. You got to have fun when you come out here and play games.
Another payoff pitch, and he fouls another one back to the netting.
I had that one, Coach.
Thought you might have.
My quick reflexes.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Great at bat.
Westbury.
Oh, my goodness.
Sprawled another good pitch. So we'll see a 9th pitch. I mean, that was a nasty pitch and a great job of protecting.
Fight off until you can get a good pitch.
Another. And he checked, and he did not.
No.
Great at-bat by Westbury. He's on with a leadoff walk. See if that gets the Owls going. Here's Riggio, Trey Riggio, the second baseman.
Is that their first base runner?
No, they had the hit by pitch last inning.
Oh, yeah.
Riggio, 125 thus far with no homers, no RBI. Quick move to first, swipe tag.
Wow.
Nice quick move by Scott.
For a big guy, that's a great move. And he's hoping he gets a ground ball double play here.
Toward left. Well struck by Riggio. Stopping at second, Westbury, and here come the Owls, 2 on, 1 out. 2 on, nobody out, pardon me.
Right, nobody out.
And here's Marcus Campbell. First 2 are aboard here in the bottom of the 3rd. Campbell, the center fielder, and a good defensive player. Here's Campbell, 167 with no RBI thus far here in the Summer League. Even down by 6, not out of the question that he would bunt here. Got to get something going.
You got to get 1 or 2 runs across before you can try and catch him.
And there is your bunt. Well, foul, first base side, 0-1.
He didn't get his bat out soon enough.
No, he had the bat upright to start with, which is a little bit unusual because, once again, back to what we talked about in the first inning with the pitcher, the more body parts you have to move to get to where you want to get, the more difficult it is. It's one of the things I taught on playgrounds for years.
Right, absolutely.
You want to be one move to get where you want to get.
Now,
pitcher or hitter.
Unless he was trying to bunt for a base hit there.
I don't think
so. Ooh.
Wow. Good area play there. Shortstop, Schaff, and a good peg by Scott. But getting back, Westbury. Just missed the outside edge. Even up. And 1-1. In front of the plate, the play is to third. Good
nice.
Peg. Good job by the catcher. Champlain to get the lead man, 1 out. Got the bunt down, but not far enough. Well, and not angled enough either.
It's like you said earlier. If you get the bunt down and it's in the right spot, you can't make a play on it. That was 4 feet in front of home plate, and a good catcher is going to jump out of there and pick up the ball and throw out the front runner.
Champlain did just that. Here's Seth Vosbein at the plate. Vosbein, the catcher, with 2 on, 1 out. Scott misses away. Might be Scott's last inning of work. Bullpen busy behind him.
I would think so. Probably be around 40 pitches.
Away, and it's 2-0.
And, is he one of those kids that go away on a weekend and play for a travel team and get some innings in, too? I mean, I don't know who does and who doesn't. But
2 balls and no strikes.
That's what you got to be careful of, is overthrowing.
There's another pickoff move to second. We'll try that a couple of times.
That's a play they have definitely worked on.
2-0. Got the call. The knees, corner, 2-1. Up and in, 3-1. Top of the order waits on deck in the person of Grant. Three balls and a strike. And he missed away. Bases loaded, one out. So 2 walks in the inning now. Scott struggling here in the third after 2 good innings. And now Latrell Grant can do something about this. We'll get a runner at first base as well. And a visit to the mound ensues.
Yeah, he's done.
So Landon Bartholomew will run at first, and that's going to do it for Scott, who goes 2 1/3 innings.
Yeah, that's a good outing for him. For the summer.
So Scott departs. He is responsible for all 3 base runners. And we'll get a new hurler into the game, and we'll check that for you. That will be Ashton Callaghan. Ashton Callaghan, Calegan, takes over. So Callaghan comes on and inherits a pretty tight situation here. The base is loaded, 1 out.
But even with that, he's 1 ground ball away from getting out of this.
Spoken like a pitcher.
Spoken by a pitcher who used my fielders as much as I could.
Finishing up his warm-up tosses. And as play resumes, it'll be Latrell Grant. Struck out in his only previous at-bat. Now ready to go. Here's Grant. Struck out swinging in the first. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ashton Callaghan getting the sign. Taking a lot of time to get that sign, finally. Settles. And pitches. And that's up in the zone. So pitchers struggling to find the zone here this evening. It's kind of been the theme thus far.
Well, the JV guys did a great job of throwing strikes today.
In the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Latrell Grant pitched an inning and 2/3. 4 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, walked 4. Had 2 wild pitches. Trying to help his team now. At the plate. 1 out, bases loaded, 2-0 the count. Big chance. And time call. Boy, this is taking a lot of time here, this at bat.
Yes. Not on the same page with the signals, I think.
Swung at the 2-0 pitch. And it's 2-1. Swung on another, and it's 2-2. Snap throw to third.
Wow.
Runner dives back in. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Long inning unfolding. And Chalmette trying to make it meaningful. Callaghan bounced it. So now it's full 3-2 and a decision pitch coming.
Well, I don't know if he tried a different pitch there, but he just ran 2 fastballs up under the hitter's hands. And I'd have come back with that again. You know, he was swinging over it by a foot. So I don't know if he tried it again. It just didn't come out of his hand right.
Payoff. And he struck him out looking.
Same pitch.
Well, it wasn't the same pitch. He threw that one down the middle. It's strikeout. Round number 2. So here's Joe Monaghan to the plate. He's grounded to short in his only at bat. And now Callaghan will work from the full windup. And he chased one down. 0-1 helped him.
That looked like a changeup there. That was a pretty good pitch.
Definitely expanded the zone. No balls and a strike. Callaghan trying to get out of a big jam here. Right down the middle. He's ahead 0-2.
Now, pick out a spot here and hit it. And as a hitter, you got to swing to protect here.
0-2. Hard hit, right field, base hit. 1 run is home. Second runner for the plate, and the relay is not in time. A 2-run single by Monaghan, and it's a 6-2 ball game.
0-2 count. Pitch is too good if they can get that much of the barrel on the ball. That's got to be down off the plate.
No doubt. Monaghan, a 2-run single. Make it a 6-2 ball game. That's a strike call to Cam Tipton. Down a ball. So it's even at 1-1.
Changing speeds a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a good job. Just left an 0-2 pitch out over the plate.
The 1-1. Down and out, 2-1.
Shortstop just came in and gave him some positive words. They slapped hands.
And that's a strike. Off speed. Looked like a changeup.
That
2-2.
was a changeup. Good pitch. You can throw that behind the count. You're in good shape.
Swing and a miss.
Did it again. Good pitch.
2 runs cross the plate. And it happens on a couple of hits. With no errors, 2 left. First 2 stranded for the Owls. We played 3. And it's 6-2 in favor of the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers over the Gulf Coast Bank Owls. You got that? Just wanted to make sure. Both teams sponsored by Gulf Coast Bank. And again, both schools very appreciative of that. And we appreciate Chalmette High School and Mike Thomas and company for accommodating us here this evening. It's always a pleasure to be here. Chip Merritt, Matt Merritt, our esteemed production crew, doing their usual excellent job here this evening.
Always do.
So now a 6-2 ball game.
6-2 ball game. Good ball game so far. I mean, just the walks got Chalmette in trouble. I remember when Chalmette, I don't know how long they did this, but each individual team member had a different sponsor. and they were just known as Chalmette.
Some schools do not have sponsors.
Right.
Most do.
I mean, you and I remember, Shaft Brothers forever. And then didn't Deanies do Rumble for a long time?
Deanies did.
Yeah.
Surely did. Yep. Holy Cross, Saucer Marine, and Ponstein's Food Store. Jesuit Otico Drillers, and then Retief Oil.
I'll go back further for that. Tulane Shirts back in the 60s.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But do you remember Archbishop Shaw's sponsors?
Conmetco.
There we go.
I know it was one.
Pitches high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Mason Hickman, who singled, walked, scored twice. Facing Hebert now with a 1-0. Hit very high and deep toward right center field. Chase to the fence, and that's going to be off the fence. On his way to second and motoring there with a leadoff double is Mason Hickman. He's on for the 3rd straight time.
Ball was hit. The ball was hit well.
4th double of the game for the Skippers, and now Kyle Sherrier will bat. He's walked twice, scored twice. Took it high and away.
Going back to those sponsors, you had Redemptress, who was TAC Amusement.
Yeah.
De La Salle was Bernie Dumas Buick. And then there was some Melville Equipment.
Melville Equipment, yeah. 1-0. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Yeah, in those days, the river parishes and all that didn't participate in the Legion here in the city.
An independent team, Shamrock Construction.
That's right. With Doc Cabasaris and Gigi Silva and all that crew.
1-1 the count. Down and in. And it's 2-1.
Good job right there by the catcher to block that.
Mm-hmm. Brother Martin's had several iterations over the years, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Now, I don't remember what St. Aloysius was. I don't remember that. But I know they played.
Taxing me now on that one. 2-1. 3-1. And an automobile dealership for a while. Among others. 3-1 the count.
And St. Aug didn't participate in the Legion.
By and large did not. No, that's right.
Right. But I'm glad they are now.
You bet. 3 balls and a strike on Sherrier, who took a strike, and it's 3-2.
That was a pitcher's pitch right there. That's a good spot.
On 3-2. Here it comes. And he struck him out looking. Good pitch. Hebert gets out number 1.
If he swings, he's not hitting that pitch. I mean, it was an absolute perfect spot. A pitcher's pitch right on the edge of the plate and down. Tough to hit that.
Michael Scott has had a sacrifice fly and a 2-run double. 3 RBI game. And he hits this one toward left foul.
He is hitting everything hard.
Thus being the leadoff, or rather the cleanup hitter.
Right.
Long look, 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed.
He's got to get that breaking pitch down. That's in a bad spot up in his eyes. I mean, it was a swing and a miss there, but he can't live there with that pitch.
No balls and 2 strikes on Scott. And now 1-2.
Good spot with 2 strikes.
Ball and 2 strikes. Ball, throw to third in time. He's out. Caught stealing is Hickman for out number 2, a 2-5 put out. Perfect throw by Vosbein. Second runner lost on the bases.
Coach is fussing at his pitcher for something.
For the Skippers.
Yeah, no. Coach
said second runner caught stealing for the Skippers.
Yes.
2 gone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was watching Coach Mike fussing at his pitcher as you were saying that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Down and out, 3-2. And the payoff pitch is on the way. And he just missed the outside edge. Close pitch.
Yep.
2-out walk. Which will get Peyton Chess onto the plate, who's doubled and walked. He has an RBI to his credit. Big left-handed swinger. First one to the netting. It's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Strike call to make it 0-2.
Good spot. That's that changeup again. He's using that pitch very well.
Bottom of the 4th inning, St. Thomas Aquinas 6-0 over Terry's Oysters, based at Bell Chase tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. The next pitch sails outside. It's 1-2.
He's been around the plate.
1-2. Bounced it. Nice block. 2-2.
That was a curveball. They let go too late. Threw it about 58 feet.
So count even 2-2 with 2 outs.
Now he's got to go get him.
Business pitch here. Move to first. Bottom of the 5th now, Corcel Law, based at De La Salle, 1-0 over Shaw-based Refuel.
That looks like a good ball game.
2-2 the count. Spoiled a pitch to stay alive.
That was a protection swing there. Just wanted to foul something off.
Mission accomplished. Back in, ready to work. 2-2. Spoils another.
Whoa.
He's down and in. Almost picked off his catcher. It's 2-2. Hey, when that happens.
That was a curveball that went down and in, and he turned on it, and we almost lost the catcher.
Bottom of the 6th now. Holy Cross-based Ponsteins 5-1 over St. Charles Catholic-based Townsend Homes. On 2-2. Long look. Another pitch. Swing and a miss. Gassed him. Got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning. No runs, a hit. 1 man left. They've stranded 5. We go to the bottom of the 4th. And the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers leading the Gulf Coast Bank Owls 6-2. So a couple of strikeouts for Hebert. And now things steadying for the Owls to get themselves back in this game.
You know, they've stopped the bleeding. Now they got to go rally a little bit. Coach Monica has taken over St. Charles Catholic.
That's correct.
Since Coach Wayne is retired.
Ty Monica, yep.
Very good. What a great program out there.
It will be a bit of an adjustment. Wayne was such a powerful force. Coach Monica is an excellent coach. But anytime you have a coaching change, there's going to be an adjustment.
Oh, absolutely. New pitcher, 74.
So we'll get a left-hander coming to the mound for the Skippers here, and that's going to be Cam Crescent. So Cam Crescent. Hello, Jack Crescent. How are you, buddy?
I was just going to ask you that.
Cam Crescent to the mound, the left-hander. Taking over as Callaghan came in and worked 2/3 of an inning in relief of Scott. Scott gave up 2 runs, both earned on 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Callaghan went 2/3 of an inning, allowed a hit, and struck out 2. And now we get Crescent. Cam, the left-hander, taking his warm-up tosses. Cam Crescent, 1 appearance, 2 innings, no hits, no runs, and 4 strikeouts. Nothing wrong with that, right?
No, none at all.
Make Daddy proud. Finishing up his warm-up tosses.
Lanky left-hander.
So here we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Evan Jacob will get it started for the Owls. What has been a little bit of a tedious, slow-moving game here.
Yes, time-wise, it's been pretty slow.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch.
Very good. Down in the zone. Good pitcher's pitch.
No balls and a strike. Towards short. Schaff has it. Sets and throws on the money for out number 1. Jacob retired. Cole Armstrong bats. He lined into a double play and a brilliant play by Hickman back in the 2nd inning.
Great play. Ran a long way to catch a fly ball in short center field and turned and threw him out at first.
Fast strike. Good delivery. It's 0-1. To the netting, it's 0-2. You had that one?
No, I was jumping.
You were, okay.
I thought it was coming right at me.
Making sure. No balls, 2 strikes.
No, because then this gets in the way.
1 and 2.
No harm done. Out of the strike zone, trying to get him to chase. Now, get a little bit closer to the strike zone here, but don't give it too much of the white part of the plate.
One-two pitch towards second. Hickman takes care of Armstrong. Landon Hebert will bat. He struck out his first time.
That's what you got to do when you have a 4-run lead. You got to come out and throw your strikes. Make them get 3, 4, 5 hits to score some runs.
Right-handed hitter takes his time getting in. Good breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Yeah, look good. Started, kind of backdoored it.
One and 1. They're now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brother Martin-based Case for Kids, 11-4 over St. Augustine-based Chapter 4 Restaurant. One and 2.
Got that fastball up in the strike zone. After seeing those breaking pitches, that fastball probably looked like it was 90.
They struck him out. Good pitch. Very impressive inning for Cam Crescent as he sets him down in order. Very impressive job. And coverage of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League is brought to you by Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Lincoln is the only Lincoln Black Label dealership in the market. It's more than ownership, it's membership. Must be a reason. We've played 4. And it's 6-2 in favor of Gulf Coast Bank and Trust. Skippers over the Gulf Coast Bank Owls. Here from Noel Suarez Stadium. Hey, pretty good looking stuff from Camp Crescent.
Well, I was very impressed with the pitch selection there and location. You know, he started off a curveball, for a strike. Then he threw curveball in the dirt. Then he threw fastball to get it to 1-2. And then, as a hitter, I'm probably guessing curveball here, and he just threw a good fastball and just froze him. Great selection of pitches, great selection of location. Very impressive. What year is he? You know? Yeah, you don't know. Yes, we don't have a lot of the rosters that we have during the regular season. So we're kind of guessing sometime about what year they're in and all that. But very, very impressive inning for Cam that time.
So on we head to the 5th inning of a 6-2 game. Favor of the Skippers, Cam Crescent, going into his senior year at Mandeville. To answer your question, asking you shall receive. Of course, we all know Cole Crescent was ahead of him as well at Mandeville.
Been a good program for a long time over there.
Now entrusted to Brady Benoit. Here's Will Template. Fast strike, 0-1. Hebert's come in and done a nice job for the Owls.
Yes, he has. He has thrown the ball.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch.
Great breaking pitch. Now you got to set him. You have him set up wherever you want to throw here. You can come back hard, maybe up in the strike zone, or come off the plate with a breaking pitch. Can go numerous ways.
Now the 0-2. Not going to chase that one. It bounced in front of the plate.
No.
A ball and 2 strikes.
Now, I know this may sound contradictory, but you got to be a little closer than that because guys aren't going to chase that. That hit out in front of the left-hander's batter's box.
Now the 1-2. And now it's 2-2.
Same pitch. Same spot.
Even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Out of play, right side.
Breaking pitch again. That one was a little bit better pitch.
Sun has set in the west. Nightfall is arriving. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, line to third and caught by Armstrong for out number 1. Peyton Lorette bats. He's doubled and grounded out. Up and in, ball 1.
I had that one.
1-1. I thought you might.
Yeah.
It's checking. Foul back.
Nice pitch.
Ball and 2 strikes. On the ret. Bears really steadied things for the Owls. And bounced another one, 2-2. Straight up defensively. Short dimensions here at Noel Suarez. Very high fence in center field. 2-2. Line drive, smashed in the left, a base hit. Lorette has his second hit. Just out of the reach of Armstrong. 1 out single here in the 5th. And that is hit number 8 for the Skippers. And that brings Luke Lejeune to the plate. Lejeune is singled. He's flying to right. He's stolen a base as well. Drawing a throw.
I'm impressed with all of these pitchers for both teams. They have pretty good right-handed moves to first base. Very quick.
The pitch. Low. 1-0. Once again, next week we'll be in Lutcher on Tuesday evening. Lutcher hosting Cretan Townsend Homes of St. Charles Catholic. And what should be a very good matchup here on CrescentCitySports.com. It's part of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League. To first, runner back.
That is going to be a barn burner.
The Lutcher team has just gotten really good pitching this summer, thus the 6-0 record. Another move to first. Hebert convinced that Lorette, who can really run, might be going somewhere. He can really get down the line. You saw that on the base hit.
Oh, no question.
Into right, second baseman can't get it. Just over the head of Riggio for a base hit. Lejeune as his second hit.
Now, I'm not critical of the second baseman here, but if he turns and runs on that instead of backpedaling, he may have a chance to make that play.
Yeah, but that's a tough read off the bat.
Absolutely it is. Yes, no question.
Ball's hit at you. It's in the air. Couldn't tell if it was off the end of the bat or squared. It was a little bit more off the end.
Right.
It's 2 on, 1 out. And we're going to get a hitter here, it appears, for Mandeville.
52.
Pitch is high for ball 1.
Flat curveball. Let it go way too soon.
Hitting for Hatch, and I'm trying to find...
62.
Yeah, 62, but
Yep.
Let's see if we can locate that number since they've changed numbers with all the spring training stuff. That's Jack Connaughton. So Connaughton bats, or Connaughton. And he fouls it right side. It's 1-1. Connaughton waits for the 1-1 with 2 on and fake move to second.
Little reverse move just to keep him honest. They're very conscious of him running.
Very occupied with Lorette. Lejeune at first, 1-1 the count. On Connaughton, who takes it down and out. Laid off, 2-1.
That's a great take because that was a great pitch right there.
Yeah, nothing you're going to do with that.
No.
2 balls and a strike. Runner from second broke early. They've got him now. Run toward him, throw to third. Back end runner going to second. I think they've called a balk.
Yeah, because he didn't turn.
I think they've called a balk, so it's not going to matter. He's tagged out, but it's not going to matter. The runners will be at second and third on a balk. So the runners move to second and third on a balk with 1 out.
What happened is it's a reverse move.
Right.
So you have to turn and have that foot at least somewhere going to second place.
Right.
And he never did that with his left foot. He almost went to third.
And no argument for Mike Thomas. So it's second and third, 2-1 the count, 1 out. Infield has to come in. Strike over the outside corner of the knees. Good slot ball. 2-2.
Good pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Bounced it, 3-2.
Great job by the catcher blocking that because that could have been a run. It would have been tough, but it could have been.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes on Connaughton. Payoff. Left side base hit. And a 7-2 lead for the Skippers. Good at bat for Connaughton. Scores Lorette, stopping at third Lejeune with 1 out.
Now, that's the disadvantage to playing your infield in. And I don't blame Coach for playing his infield in, but you always take a chance. And that would have been a ground ball out to your shortstop had he been back in his normal position. But you decide that, you can't give him another run here. So you're hoping that they hit a ball at somebody and they can make a play to the plate.
So with 1 out, runners at first and third. Schaff at the plate. Anderson Schaff is lined out, walked and scored, struck out. To the netting, it's 0-1.
No, that would have been over my head. I could have made a play on that.
Runners lead, 0-1 pitch. On a play right side, it's 0-2.
That's a great curveball right there. You had him reaching. Now, I would maybe throw that again right here, just a little bit further off the plate. Don't bounce it. Just a little bit further off the plate. Make him really reach to try and go get it. And get yourself a ground ball, maybe.
Runner goes from first. No throw. Ball 1. Stolen base. And now 2 runners in scoring position as Connaughton steals second. And a 1-2 count on Schaff. We're going to do some real damage here.
Infield back in.
Have to be. Out of play right side again. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Schaff. Next pitch. Bat goes flying. Ball in the catcher's mitt for the strikeout and 2 outs.
That was that curveball that was away. Great spot.
Hebert kind of throws his hands up like, man, I don't know what happened. Need some more pine tar. Brady Benoit retrieves the bat. And that will bring Mason Hickman to the plate. He's had a really good game. A single, a double, and a walk. And he scored a run.
That's a good game. Absolutely.
Hopes to do some more damage here. From the full windup. And delivers one for a strike.
And with the 2 outs, the infielders back up and play at their regular positions.
Oh, 1 drops low. It's 1-1. And that's a strike called. It's 1-2. Trying to minimize the damage here is Hebert.
Right, can't allow him to put up another quicker number up there.
Runners away second and third from the full windup. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Toward the second baseman, Riggio. Boots it, loses it, throws it away as well. But the runner holds it third rather. So it's an error allowing the runner to score. And it's an 8-2 ball game. Too bad for Aber. He got the ground ball to get out of it, but play just wasn't made.
Routine ground ball, and it kind of got, the glove was on top of it, and it stopped the ball, but he didn't have it in his glove. So he had to go back down and grab it. By that time, that left-hander can run a little bit, and he was safe.
Runners end up at first and third, 2 outs. It's now an 8-2 game, and here's Charrier, who's walked twice, scored twice, and struck out. Took it high. Third error on the Owls.
Yes, too many walks early on and too many miscues.
The 1-0 and 2-0. And 3-0. Stepped off. See if Charrier gets the green on 3-0 with a 6-run lead.
I don't see why not.
Not even close. Nothing to swing at there, and the bases end up loaded for Michael Scott, who's had a sacrifice fly RBI, 2-run double, and a walk. And a chance to really do some more damage. And now Mike Thomas will go to the mound, and we might have a change here. Aber kind of ran out of gas there, and he'll depart. After 3 innings of work, gets a hand as he leaves. And the new pitcher coming on for the Owls is Isaiah Jano. Jano taking over as the third pitcher of the game. Isaiah Jano, 3 appearances. Let's double check that for Jano on the year. Take that back. He has not made an appearance. This is his first of the year. So first time Jano has appeared. Right-handed hurler. And he walks into a tough spot as well with the bases loaded and 2 outs and a good hitter in Scott coming up.
Yes, tough situation for him to come in on with the game that Scott has had, swinging the bat and pitching.
Taking his warm-up tosses. So, bases loaded, 2 outs. And we'll see what Scott will do against Jano here. One and 0. Scott with 3 RBI in the game. Wants to do some more damage here. And it's 1-1. Mike Thomas knocked that one down.
That's a nice play over there by Coach.
No fear.
Yeah, well,
stand strong. Get the job done.
Yeah, I'm jumping out the way.
Ball and a strike. Next one on the way. Sails way high. So 2 balls and a strike. Swung at a pitch, out of portion. It's 2-2.
Little cutter, a little slider there. Good pitch.
Two balls, two strikes with two outs. Jano tries to get out of it. And a breaking ball struck him out. He dropped a slow curve in there.
Pretty pitch.
Good pitch. Extricates his team from this one. 2-run score in the inning on 3 hits with an error. 3 men were left on base. 8 left now for the Skippers. Let's take a stretch from Noel Suarez, 8-2. Skippers on top of the Owls. Well, that was a pitch to keep his team in the game, basically.
That's the first curveball, a real curveball I saw him throw.
And it fooled the hitter, and it dropped right in there. And Crescent back to the mound. And coverage of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more. All done quickly while you enjoy some popcorn. Must be a reason. Crescent set them down in order in the 4th with a strikeout. Works into his 2nd inning out of the bullpen for the Skippers. 3rd pitcher of the game for them, following Michael Scott and Ashton Callaghan. And here in the bottom of the 5th, the due hitters are Peyton Chasson, Will Tomplin, or the due hitters are Talon Westbury, Trey Riggio, and Marcus Campbell. And as mentioned, next week we are planning to be in Watcher for the game between Cypress Physical Therapy, the Bulldogs, leading this league, hosting the Cretan Townsend home St. Charles Catholic-based Comets.
Should be a good one.
First pitch from Crescent is a popper for a strike called to get ahead.
You know, not only two good teams, but a very good rivalry.
Westbury walked his first time. Bounced that one. It's 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. It's 2-1.
Come on. 6-run lead. Throw the ball over the plate. Make them put it in play.
Working from the third base side of the rubber. Crescent with the 2-1. It's 3-1 now. That pitch is high and out of the zone. Ball gets through on the throwback.
Well, they can't play pitch and catch. One of those throw was high, and he thought he had it, and it went off the top of his glove.
3 balls and a strike. And strike over the outside edge. He threw the bat away and was running the first. Say it all the time. Let him make the call. It's 3-2.
Right. Just let him make the call on that, because it makes you look bad. It makes the umpire look bad.
Payoff. That's not close. So he can trot to first now. Leadoff walk. And now you get Riggio, who had a line drive base hit and scored a run in the 3rd. Crescent delivers a strike.
I love the way he throws. Throws very nicely.
With the 0-1. Up and in. Even at a ball and a strike.
Looked like he dropped down a little bit on that one. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it kind of threw across his body.
Now the 1-1, way high. So this inning here, not nearly as sharp.
No.
With his command, it's 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Chased it. Good heater, got him.
Yep.
Out number 1.
That's just bearing down and saying, here, hit this with a 6-run lead.
Marcus Campbell stands in. Grounded into a fielder's choice, scored a run earlier. 1-0. Back to the netting, it's 1-1. All crooked numbers on the board for these teams in this game. 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the fifth for the Skippers, 2 in the third for the Owls. To first. And again, you can work on something, but with a 6-run lead in the fifth, it's probably advisable to focus on the hitter.
I mean, that's what I'd be telling my guys. Get the hitter. We're not worried about him right now.
Broke that one over nicely, 1-2.
Nice pitch.
One, two. Slowly towards second, coming to get it. Play to first. Hickman gets Campbell, second out. Westbury advancing to second. And now the catcher will shed his gear. Vosbane was the catcher earlier, but we have him returning here. He was pinch run for earlier, a courtesy runner, of course.
Right.
So he's stayed in the game. But in the Summer League, you do have some free substitution which takes place. So we always have to monitor that. This is for development, as we've said many times. Stretch pitch. Toward the hole, tough chance coming. Shortstop, long throw, good play.
Oh, my goodness.
Made by Schaff. That's outstanding by Anderson Schaff. Highlight that one. Inning over with no runs, no hits, and a runner stranded. That's 3 left for the Owls, and we've played 5, and it's 8-2, and that's really good stuff, Kenny.
That's a great play. You know, he moved about 6 or 7 steps to his right. Ball was not hit hard. Went over, made the play, and in one motion, let it go. You know, and that's an outstanding play. So, you know, today we've seen 2 pretty good shortstops over at Mandeville. The one that played in the JV game and the one that's playing out there now. You know, I started to say earlier, too, you know, you got 17 teams in the league. You probably have maybe 9 or 10 that's really going to battle for the championship. And there's not much difference in the teams, except that maybe those teams that are still young and maybe down toward the bottom of the rankings right now are teams that are young or teams that might only have, you know, 4 or 5 players. Whereas the teams at the upper echelon, you know, they have a little experience, and they got 10 or 11 guys that can play. You know, it's a lot easier when you have a little depth, and of course, pitching. It's how much pitching you got.
So on to the 6th we had of an 8-2 game. Back to the mound goes Isaiah Jano. Got a strikeout to end the last inning.
Off the great curveball. Had me fooled.
And on we go. The line on Abear was 3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned. Walked 3, struck out 5, had a balk. Following Grant to the mound, and now Jano.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Working here in the 6th inning to Chasson. Was doubled, walked, and struck out as an RBI. And took a strike. It's 0-1. And it's 0-2. Again, very reminiscent of spring training Major League Baseball with these high numbers that the skippers are wearing. The new jerseys are coming in soon with regular numbers. They'll welcome those. High and away, 1-2. You think about a bunch of linemen in football, right, with these numbers. 60s,
no
70s, some 80s, which would be wide receivers or tight ends or whatever. It's just inside. And it's 2-2. At least that's what comes to mind for me.
Absolutely.
Towards short.
Hit hard.
Gobbled up nicely. Monaghan. Throw low. Dug out nicely. For out number 1.
Nice play.
6-3 put out. 1 gone for Will Tomplin, who has flied out twice and lined out. Oh and 1. Bryce Wilson with a nice dig at first base. Curveball just a little high.
Right, just a little high, but great pitch.
1-1. Good bend to that breaking ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's not close, and it's 2-1.
I don't know if he's trying to throw a cutter with that pitch or not, but he's thrown a couple down in the dirt like that.
2-1 pitch, and this is hit toward left deep. Left fielder's there to make the catch. 2 gone. Tomplin got it off the end of the bat. It looked good off the bat, but got a bit off the end. Not able to get carry on it. And here's Peyton Lorette.
Yeah, he was a little bit out in front of that and just kind of queued it up a little bit.
Lorette has doubled and singled. He scored a run. He's 2 for 3. Batting with 2 outs. And taking it down and out. 1-0. Ball and a strike. One is just high and a little bit tight. 2-1.
Again, good break on that curveball. He's just up in the zone a little bit with it. Has to get it down.
2 balls and a strike with 2 outs here. And it's 2-2.
Good pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes. That is a foul ball. Just hooked it foul. Down the left field side.
Well, that was that curveball again, but instead of it being way high, it was like chin high, and he was able to hit it pretty good. He's got to get that curveball down a little bit.
3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And another. low. 2-out walk issued to Lorette. And now we'll get number 65 to the plate, Tyler Fisher. Tyler Fisher will bat for the first time, hitting in Lejeune's spot and taking it down and out. One-0 pitch. Back to the screen. It's 1-1 to Fisher. Throw to first. Runner dives back in. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and fouled. A little hit and run action.
Good pitch to run on with it being a curveball.
Ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 the count. Runner with a lead. Pitch on the way. Sits high and he fouls it. Holding it 1-2.
Another on-deck hitter that almost got drilled, the foul ball, off the end of the bat.
It's a dangerous spot to be in tonight. Or so it seems.
This is one of those parks. I think I played Little League, and I would go back behind the hitter.
Mm-hmm. Still 1-2. Runner goes. Pitches down and out. Throw will never get him. Stolen base for Lorette. Can really run, as we said earlier.
Yes, and good jump. Catcher's really not giving a chance.
And it's 2-2. And now 3-2, ball gets away. That'll be a pass ball. So runner to third, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, that's got to be a little closer pitch than that.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Foul that one out of play. Good at bat.
Mandeville hitters have done such a good job tonight with 2 strikes.
They really have.
Fouling.
Just extending at bats.
Yeah, absolutely. Making pitchers throw pitches. And okay, we need a ball here, folks.
Still 3-2. Got to have a baseball.
Right.
Good arm by Mike Thomas, by the way.
Yep.
Threw a couple of heaters. Both strikes. Jano on 3-2. To the plate. And he swings and misses. And the inning is over.
That was a foot off the plate.
No runs, no hits, and 1 man left on base. 9 stranded by the Skippers. Bottom of the 6th, coming of an 8-2 game here at Noel Suarez Stadium. So Jano puts up a 0 to try to get his team back to the plate.
Just cut it a little bit.
And we'll get another new pitcher, it appears, for the Skippers here in the 6th. This is going to be Kyle Sherrier, who's going to pitch. 4th pitcher of the game, Sherrier to the mound, which is par for the course in Summer League Baseball.
Yep.
Crescent went 2 innings without allowing a hit. No runs. Walked 1 and struck out 2.
There's your key. 1 walk.
You bet. This is one of those games where the coach can determine who his winning pitcher is, because you've had Scott go 2 1/3, And he left with the lead, and he went the longest of any pitcher. So I'm inclined to give it to him, but you'll have to ask Coach Benoit after the game if they hold on to win. Ashton Callaghan went 2/3 of an inning. Crescent just went 2 scoreless innings. You could give it to him.
Yep.
So either Scott or Crescent at this point, but because no one went the required amount of innings, official score can determine the winning pitcher. Of course, that amounts to us basically because there is none here in the Summer League, and we run this league.
Right.
So if it's me at this point, I might just give it to Scott. He went 2 1/3, gave up 2 runs, but 1 hit, and at the same time helped himself with 3 RBIs.
Correct.
And he could be the guy you're speaking to as soon as this game's over with.
That's what I was probably planning on.
Charrier is to the mound here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch, taking a breaking ball strike. Good pitch. Broke that one over.
Backdoor curveball.
To Latrell Grant, who's 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Similar pitch fouled off the end of the bat, a little nubber. And it's 0-2. So a couple of slow breaking balls, outer portion here.
Now let's see what he comes with here. Let's see what he comes with here. If he's going to go up in the zone and go with a fastball or try and get him with another curveball.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Should be off the plate.
Next pitch. Struck him out looking. Fastball. There you go.
Yep.
Showed 2 slow ones and then got him with a heater. 1 out. 5 more outs to get for the Skippers. The batter is Monaghan. Singled and grounded out. First pitch. Slow breaking ball. Strike called again. There he is, bending it over that outside edge.
Right.
Has that pitch in his arsenal consistently here. And a swing and a foul. Quickly ahead 0-2. Comes in throwing strikes. Charrier on the year has made 1 appearance, 1 inning, 3 hits, 3 runs earned. With a walk and 2 strikeouts coming in. And the 0-2 pitch. High and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Good cut. Stays at 1-2. One-two pitch, and he just got a piece of that right off the handle to remain at 1-2.
That ball kept breaking and kept breaking and kept breaking, and next thing you know, it was on his hands. Great spot.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a row for Charrier. And now he'll face Cam Tipton, who's batted twice and struck out twice swing. This game is now well over the 2-hour mark. Been a bit of slow moving.
Yep.
Here's Tipton. And here's the pitch. And there's a strike. It's 0-1. Slow breaking ball. It's 1-1.
Can't change your whole motion on that. That's what he did. You know, they knew it wasn't a fastball coming.
Decelerated in basically all aspects.
Yeah, he slowed down too.
I guess high, and it's 2-1. Just applying my wordsmith education to a quiet evening. That's down. It's 3-1.
Kids have such an advantage today in classroom because of all the stuff you can get offline.
Or online.
Online. I mean, they correct the papers.
Fastball, call the ball for it's a walk.
You can go to a math website and it works the problems out for. I mean, just craziness.
Yeah, we've come a long way since the slide ruler, okay? Which I hated.
I tell the kids I'm BC, before calculators.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, calculator came into being when I was at Rummel, and I had one, but you could only use it for certain things. They wouldn't let you use it in the classroom. You can use it at home or homework. Evan Jacob, that's what my math teaching was there, is a high and away pitch, 1-0.
Yes, now the kids can't do any math without it. They're just not capable, a lot of them.
Ball and no strikes. With another. 2-0. Snap throw to first.
Ooh, close. Come on, 6-run lead. Got to find a plate. Got to put the ball in play.
2 balls and no strikes. Next one on the way. In the air to right. Right fielder coasting over. Chasson should have a play. Makes the catch. Inning over with no runs, no hits. 1 man stranded. And now 4 left by the Owls. Let's go to the 7th. Scheduled for 7. And it's the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers 6 and the Gulf Coast Bank Owls 2. Good job by Kyle Sherrier in the 6th. So 1 more to go here.
Well, again, for Chalmette, just early on, too many walks and too many miscues. And that, to me, that's the difference in the ball game in those first 2 innings.
Yeah, game got away really in the 3rd a bit.
Right. And they really, like you're saying, Mandeville has what? They've left 10 on base, and Chalmette's left 4. So it's not like they've had a lot of base runners the whole night, I know Coach Gilliards, Coach has got to be happy with his pitching staff tonight.
Brady Benoit's got to be pleased with what he's seen.
Right.
The situational hitting has been good enough, but you're right, they have had other chances. The way the game has unfolded thus far. 9 men left on base.
Right.
10 hits in the game.
Yeah.
And they've out-hit the Owls 10-2.
4 or 5 doubles.
They've had 4 doubles in the game, 3 stolen bases. And lost a couple of runners on the bases, too.
Right. And, Scott had great stuff. The kid that relieved him had good stuff. Then we go to Crescent. He had good stuff. And the left-hander that's out there right now.
Just threw a shutout inning.
Yeah. I've been very impressed with those kids.
Top of the 7th inning, a check swing and a foul of the bat of Connaughton, who had the single RBI back in the 5th and is only at bat. And took a strike at 0-2.
Great spot, right on that corner.
Can't argue with that pitch. Well done by Isaiah Geno, who's ready now with the 0-2. And he bounced it, 1-2. We've had a lot of pitches bounce in this game.
Yes. Could be guys trying to overthrow. Could be them working on a pitch, a cutter or a slider. You never know.
1-2. Look out. Kind of slipped out of his hand. It's 2-2.
Now, my good coaching point today to him would be don't throw that pitch anymore.
Whatever that was,
right?
Leave it in the bag. 2-2 the count. And a good fastball struck him out looking. That's a nice response by Jano, and that's out number 1 here in the 7th. And here is Anderson Schaff, who was lined out, walked, struck out twice. And he went around, strike anyway. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Breaking ball spanked to second. Riggio to first for the out. 2 gone. So with 2 gone, here's Mason Hickman, who has a base hit, a double. He's walked and he's reached on an error, so he's been on base all 4 at-bats in this game.
Yes, he's had a good ball game.
Strike called 0-1.
Now, to me, this is Jano's best inning. He's throwing very well. This is his third.
One and one. Two and one.
That wasn't a bad pitch. That was that cutter that I think he's been trying to throw, and it just missed the inside part of the plate.
Jano trying to finish it out here for the Owls. 2-1 pitch. Towards second, good pitch. Riggio will gobble that up, and he will throw him out. So a good inning for Jano. Nothing across. Last chance coming for the Owls as the Skippers lead it by the score of 8-2. Jano finishes up 2 1/3 innings without giving up a hit or a run. And he walked 1 and struck out 3.
Good outing.
No doubt. Grant the pitcher of record in this game for the Owls. And like I said, at our discretion, I'm apt to give the win to Scott. He went 2 1/3 longer than anybody else.
Right.
And he left with the lead in the game.
Right.
So that's my call. And therefore, he would be the winning pitcher and would be 1-0.
Maybe I should disagree with you and just fight you on it.
We're going to send you down now.
Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay.
Just turn it on, it turns green, and when I give you the signal, you're good to go. So we'll send Kenny down to talk to Brady Benoit, and Michael Scott will be the friend. Michael Scott in this game drove in 3 runs, had a double, a sacrifice line, a walk, pitched 2 1/3 innings, and we're giving him the win. So there's the note. And here goes Sherry here to try to finish this up for the Skippers. Who have played errorless baseball. They've been solid in the field in this one. And Sherrier back to the mound here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As he prepares to deal with Cole Armstrong to get it started. Landon Hebert and telling Westbury to follow. Here's Armstrong. He's lined into a double play, and he's grounded out to second. First pitch. And a swing and a ball hit up the middle. Tough chance. Backhand, long throw coming in. Dug out beautifully. The defense has been sterling for the Skippers. Hickman makes another good play. And Lejeune picks it for out number 1. Here's Landon Hebert, who struck out twice. First pitch. Over but high. And it's 1-1.
Go, B. Will.
Fouled to back end of the bat, 1-2. So, ball and 2 strikes. On Hebert. Swing and a miss. Got him for out number 2. Charrier with 3 strikeouts now. He's 1 out away. Talon Westbury is that hitter.
Let's go, Herbie.
It's Landon Hebert at the plate. And the pitch. Hebert took a ball. We got a little bit out of sequence here. It is Hebert batting, 1-0. There's the 1-0 to Hebert. Outside 2-0. And Chalmette's hitting 10. So that's the confusion of sorts.
Come on, don't miss it.
2 balls, no strikes. Landon took it down 3-0. And a strike delivered, 3-1. Charrier trying to finish it here. Swing and a foul tip, 3-2. 1 strike away are the Skippers from a victory. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out to end this game. Really good pitching to finish it by Charrier to produce an 8-2 win here this evening for the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Skippers over the Gulf Coast Bank Owls. Just good pitching, giving up just 2 hits in the game. This pitching tonight by the Skippers, and that's going to get it done on virtually every night. When you pitch in that fashion, it certainly turned out to be the case here tonight. Totals of the ball game for the Skippers of Gulf Coast Bank and Trust: 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 9 left on base. And for the Owls of Gulf Coast Bank, Chalmette, 2 runs, 2 hits, 3 errors, and 4 men left on base. We'll give the win to Michael Scott. He's 1-0. And the loss goes to Latrell Grant. He's 1-1. And the game takes 2 hours and 21 minutes to play. And the Skippers win it by the score of 8-2. And the Skippers thus improve to 3-2 on the season. And the Owls drop to 4-4 with the defeat here this evening. And a good job. Again, when you allow 2 hits, you're going to win games. And that's what they were able to do here tonight. 8-2 victory. And we're ready to go as we'll send it down to Kenny Forsang with our start of game, Michael Scott. Kenny?
Pitcher for tonight. And did an outstanding job. So talk to me about those first 2 1/3 innings. Just ran out of gas a little bit in that third inning?
It was hot.
It was hot,
definitely
absolutely.
hot. I was just attacking hitters with the fastball.
Yeah.
Slider wasn't working like I wanted it to, but
Right.
fastball was able to get him out.
Well, the summer is when you work on all that.
Yes, sir.
So, great job. Now, what about swinging the bat?
I felt good up there today.
Yeah.
One of them, I struck out looking, but I also hit a double.
Yeah, you
Helped
had 3
me out a little
RBIs?
bit. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very, very good.
Thank
Well, look, you're a winning pitcher tonight. Congratulations. Great ball game.
Thank you.
All right, boy. Take care. Coach, good win here.
See you. Thank
Always
you.
good to see you, sir.
Man. You too.
All right, talk to me about coming into a new program and what what goals are, what you've seen so far with your group.
Yeah, it's it's tough. It was tough leaving where I was. Like I said, I love those guys over there, but just kind of the right move. But coming in, I know the talent here and the kids and the program that's been established, and we're just kind of looking to push it a step further. For me this summer, what it's all about, it's not so much winning. Anytime we step on a field, we want to win, but it's me getting to know the kids, them getting to know me and be around me and kind of start to get our program installed and what we're going to do moving forward. But I really like what I've seen so far from a competitive standpoint. We talk about all the time, if I have to coach your effort and your attitude, then my program's probably not for you. And I haven't had any issues with that. And, the guys are really working hard and just coming out here and having fun. I think that was something I noticed missing with these guys is they got to realize baseball's fun and get out here and enjoy it. You played at the highest levels and coached at the highest levels, and if you're not having fun, the game gets a little tough.
Right. If you're not having fun, it's time to find something else.
Right.
Well, anyway, Coach.
Thanks so much.
Great job tonight. Good seeing you.
Appreciate it.
Take care. Back to you, Ken.
All right, thank you very much, Kenny. Great job. Thanks to Brady Benoit, Michael Scott. And a win here for the Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Mandeville Skippers, 8-2 over the Chalmette-based Gulf Coast Bank Owls this evening. We'll be with you next week. We hope you'll join us then next Tuesday night. We're scheduled to be in Lutcher for the league-leading Cypress Physical Therapy Bulldogs of Lutcher against St. Charles Catholic-based Cretan Townsend Homes. Hope you'll join us then. Check out all the scores and all the recaps of all of our Summer League games at CrescentCitySports.com. So thanks to Matt Merritt, to Chip Merritt. Great job as always, gentlemen. Thanks to Kenny for saying as well. From Noel Suarez Stadium, I'm Ken Trahan saying thanks for joining us and be a good sport. God bless you one and all. We are rounding third and heading home. So long.